Hey there. Ever looked at a beautifully polished granite countertop or those intricate stone details in architecture and wondered, how did they do that?
It's more than just admiring it, right?
Exactly. Today, we're deep diving into the world of the masters of stone planers.
We're going behind the scenes to uncover those secrets of turning raw stone into works of art.
We've got your stack of research right here, a fantastic career guide, A&D a set of real interview questions.
So get ready, because this deep dive is your backstage pass to rock a career as a stone planer.
Okay, let's unpack this. First up, what does a stone planer actually do all day?
Well, it's more than just pushing buttons on big machines. This career blends technical know-how with a creative eye.
It's like you're not just shaping stone, you're shaping a vision, right?
Exactly. You've got to understand the unique properties of each stone type. That delicate marble needs a gentler approach than, say, a tough granite.
And speaking of different stones, our career guide mentions the demand for specialized stone planers is growing.
Absolutely. With architecture getting more intricate, those with expertise in, say, a rare limestone or fancy finishing techniques, they're in high demand.
It's like the more specialized your stone skills, the more you're in the driver's seat, career-wise.
Precisely. But how do you show employers you're the stone whisperer they need?
Well, it all comes down to nailing that interview. So are you ready to jump into the hot seat?
Let's do it. First question, a classic. Describe your experience working with different types of stones.
Time to shine and show off that stone expertise.
Don't just rattle off a list of stones, though. Think, what were the unique challenges and advantages of each?
So, like, did that super delicate marble require a totally different technique than a rough piece of granite?
Exactly. Did you have to adapt your usual planing method for a tricky project? That shows adaptability.
And you know what else can help you here? RoleCatcher.
Oh, tell me more.
Imagine typing out your answer, and RoleCatcher's AI is like your brainstorming buddy, suggesting those extra details to make you stand out.
Okay, I see. It's like having a secret weapon to make your answers even stronger.
Exactly. All right, next question. How do you ensure the finished product meets those nitpicky specifications? This one's all about precision.
Absolutely. They want to hear about your process. Do you pour over blueprints? Use a special technique to get that flawless finish.
And don't be afraid to get a little technical here. Our interview guide even mentions name-dropping tools like calipers.
Right, because using the lingo shows you're in the know. But it's not just about the tools.
It's how you use them, right? Like, did you come up with a way to minimize waste on a project? Or spot a hidden flaw in the stone before it became a problem?
Those are the kinds of stories that make you memorable because it shows you're not just following steps, you're thinking critically about the craft.
They're looking for those aha moments, those times you went above and beyond.
Exactly. And that problem-solving mindset. It's key for our next question. How do you handle a situation where the stone is not level or has imperfections?
Because Mother Nature doesn't always deliver perfect slabs of stone, right?
Exactly. This question is all about staying calm under pressure. They want to hear you can assess the situation and find a solution.
And not panic and reach for the stone-colored epoxy at the first sign of trouble.
Right. Maybe you had a hidden fracture throw you a curveball or some stubborn unevenness. This is your chance to share how you dealt with it.
Did you call in a supervisor for a consult? Use special fillers? Or totally adjust your planing technique? Real-world examples are goal LD.
Because it proves you've got the experience to handle those inevitable bumps in the road.
Okay, next up. How do you prioritize your workload when you've got multiple projects on the go? Time management, essential in any job.
Especially in a fast-paced environment like stone fabrication, things can get hectic.
So, how do you stay organized amidst the chaos? Do you use a fancy project management app or prioritize by deadlines?
Don't forget to highlight your communication skills here. You could say, first, I'd clarify deadlines with my supervisor and team, making sure everyone's on the same page.
Right, because clear communication prevents those, wait, you needed that when moments.
Exactly. Now, are you ready to tackle a potentially uncomfortable situation?
Hit me with it.
The dreaded client dissatisfaction scenario. How do you handle a situation where a client is not satisfied with the finished product?
Oof, that's a tough one, especially when you've poured your heart into a piece.
It happens. The key is to show you're committed to making things right, but with professionalism.
So, say a client isn't happy with the finish on their custom countertop. What's your move?
First, really listen to their concerns without getting defensive. Then you can calmly explain the process, how you met the specs, and explore potential solutions.
Finding that balance between advocating for your craft, but also prioritizing customer satisfaction.
Precisely. Maybe it's a slight adjustment or an alternative solution that meets their needs while staying true to the stone.
Okay, we've covered some great ground here, but we're just getting started. Stay tuned because we're diving into even more interview questions. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of stone planers. Last time we jumped headfirst into some real-deal interview questions. Are you ready for more?
Bring it on. Those interview questions aren't going to know what hit them.
That's the spirit. Question 6 is all about staying ahead of the game. How do you stay up to date with new tools and techniques in the stone planing industry?
This one's key. It shows you're not just showing up, you're passionate about the craft.
Like, it's not enough to be great with the tools of today. You got to be ready for whatever tomorrow brings.
Exactly. So think about it. What are your go-to industry magazines? You know, those ones with names like Stone World or whatever's out there.
I'm picturing very official-sounding titles with photos of pristine stonework on the cover.
Exactly. And it's not just reading, right? Have you been to any workshops lately? Maybe learned about that fancy new water jet cutting thingamajig?
Ooh, or 3D modeling for stonework. I bet that's impressive to mention.
See? This is where you get to geek out a little and show them you're on top of the latest and greatest.
And you know what else can really up your game here? RoleCatcher. It's not just for resumes.
Oh, right. It's got that whole interview practice side too, doesn't it?
Imagine plugging in your answers to these questions, and the AI analyzes them. Not just if you said the right stuff, but how well it matches what the job wants.
Okay, that IES cool. So it's like, it'll tell me if my answer about, say, that online stone carving course is really hitting the mark they're looking for.
You got it. All right, question 7. How do you handle a situation where you are behind schedule on a project? Because, let's be real, that happens sometimes.
It's inevitable, right? Materials don't show up, design takes longer than expected. The key is how you handle it.
So, paint me a picture, the pressure's on, you're behind. What's your next move?
Communication is everything. Go to your supervisor, explain the situation calmly, and what you're doing to fix it.
So not just, oh no, we're behind, but here's the problem, here's my plan to catch up, and I'll keep you updated.
Exactly. You've got this. Maybe you even find a creative workaround, like using a different machine for part of the task. Resourcefulness under pressure is key.
That's what they want to hear. Okay, ready for a curveball. Question 8 is all about when things go wrong. How do you handle a situation where a machine or tool breaks down in the middle of a project?
Happens to the best of us. First things first, safety. Don't try to be a hero and fix something beyond your expertise.
Right, because a broken machine and a hurt worker, nobody wins that scenario.
Exactly. If it's a simple fix you're trained for, great. If not, call in the reinforcements, your supervisor, maintenance, whoever's appropriate.
And while you're waiting, what's a stone planer to do?
There's always something. Prep materials for the next job, review blueprints, even organize your workspace.
It's about initiative.
Right.
Showing them you're not just going to stand around twiddling your thumbs until the machine's fixed.
You got it. Now, before we get to our final question, let's talk about that all-important resume.
Yes. The document that gets your foot in the door. And speaking of doors, RoleCatcher can be that key.
We've talked about its AI powers for answering interview questions, but it really shines with resumes too, right?
100%. Remember all that talk about keywords and making sure your resume speaks the language of the job you want.
It's like trying to decipher a secret code sometimes, getting past those applicant tracking systems, A&D, impressing the hiring manager.
RoleCatcher cracks the code. You upload your resume, and the AI analyzes it against the specific job description, like line by line.
So it's not just telling me my font is unprofessional anymore, it's giving me strategic advice.
Exactly. It might suggest tweaking your school section, highlighting projects that really showcase what they're looking for, even changing the wording to match the industry jargon.
Okay, that is next level helpful.
Right. It's like having a resume whisperer on your side.
Yeah.
Now, ready for our last question. This one's a bit more, shall we say, introspective.
Hit me with it.
Last one for now. Where do you see yourself in 5 years within the stone planing industry? The classic future aspirations question.
It's not just about daydreaming, though. It's about showing you've thought about your career path and where this job fits into it.
So sipping cocktails on a beach, never seeing another piece of granite again, is probably not the winning answer here.
Probably not, no. Unless they're hiring for a resort stonework consultant.
There's always an exception. But seriously, what are some good things to touch on here?
Talk about your goals. Maybe you want to specialize in a specific type of stone or master a really complex technique. Maybe you're even thinking about starting your own end business down the line.
It's about ambition, but also showing them you're invested in this field for the long haul, that you're not just passing through.
Exactly. And that brings us to...
And we're back for the final stretch of our deep dive into the world of stone planers.
We've covered a lot of ground, from reading blueprints to handling those, moments when a client's not thrilled.
But through it all, one thing's clear. Being a stone planer is about so much more than just the stone itself.
It's about precision, problem solving, and, let's be honest, a little bit of artistry, too.
And having the right tools, both literally at the workbench, AD, when it comes to landing the job in the first place.
Which brings us back to our trusty sidekick for this whole deep dive RoleCatcher.
Right. We've talked about how its AI can help you craft those killer interview answers.
And give you that extra edge when it comes to building a resume that really sings, even to those picky applicant tracking systems.
But it all boils down to this. RoleCatcher helps you put your best foot forward so you can walk into that interview feeling confident and prepared.
Because when you know you've prepped thoroughly, practiced those answers, and have solid examples ready to go, it shows.
It's like that saying, chance favors the prepared mind. Or in this case, the prepared stone planer.
Exactly. And that preparation is what sets apart those who just dabble in stone from those who truly master the craft.
So as we wrap up our deep dive here, I want to leave you with this. We've explored the skills, the tools, the interview tricks.
But the most important ingredient is you. Your passion, your willingness to learn, that drive to turn raw stone into something incredible.
Beautifully said. So go out there, embrace the challenge, and let RoleCatcher be your guide as you build that rock-solid career as a stone planer.
And remember, whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned pro, there's always something new to discover in the world of stone.
This has been The Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time for another exciting career exploration.